Hey guys, welcome to this tutorial. My name is ThaTimster. Today I'm going to be going over how to create this train carriage here that was in my Project FPS game. So what we're going to be doing is creating the main hull, then creating all the doors and the windows and stuff, then the wheels and the interior here with the seats and the sort of pole things and stuff. And yeah, that's about it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So File New, open up a new blend file. Up here, Blender Game Engine, GeoSL, animation frame rate of 60. Now what we're going to do is use this cube here, so let's go over here, call it train carriage. We can call it subway carriage, whatever you want. Then I'm going to press SX and scale it on the X-axis, SZ, and scale it on the Z-axis. This is going to be the sort of main dimensions of the carriage itself. Then what I'm going to do is press tab, go into edit mode, choose face select mode down here, choose this right face, and let's just move it in. Alright, and then press numpad 1, numpad 3, numpad 5, and then E to extrude, and move it along a fair distance, so maybe something like that, then E to extrude again. And so this here is going to be this sort of driver window in the side. Now we also need a main windscreen, so let's press Ctrl R again, move it along, and then just give it a corner like so. Alright, so something like that. Then we need a front as well, so maybe that can be a bit lower around there. And then what we can do is add a lower one down here. Alright, so maybe around halfway. Then what we're going to do is select face select again, and we're going to select all these faces, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to press numpad 3, and then we'll press E to extrude a bit more, and then we're going to press E to extrude again. This is going to be this section where the doors will be, or the first set of doors, so let's make it about this wide. And then maybe backwards a bit, E to extrude again, then a space, E, and then this is going to be the window, so maybe a bit smaller, and E to extrude again, and then we'll have another set of doors, so fair bit, like so, E to extrude again, and then we'll have windows as well. So E to extrude, and this will be a window. Alright, so something like that. Then E to extrude one last time, and then that should be fine. So with all these faces selected, press Shift S, cursor to selected, press Tab to go into object mode, and then choose Origin to 3D cursor. Okay, now I might actually scale it down slightly on the Z axis, and then I'm going to go over here, choose Modifier, and choose Mirror. Then we'll do the Y axis. Turn off X. So now what I'm going to do is give it a couple loop cuts up the top to smooth off the roof. So maybe 3. Then I'm going to select this, hold down Control, and right click the end one. Then I'm going to make sure proportional editing is on, and just move it up. So scroll out a bit, and hold down Shift. Now if you don't really like the shape of that roof, you can just go down here, maybe we'll do Root. Alright, so something like that. Now you'll notice we do have the problem here of the curving, so what you can do is just select this, hold down Control, select this, then go down here and turn this to disable, then S, Z, and 0. Then enter, that will flatten it out, and then just move it down again. So down here, choose face select and delete the faces here. So same on the other side. And then same for the windows as well. Okay, and then also what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to go into vertice select, Z to go into wireframe, numpad 7, sorry. Select the whole left side, X and delete. Make sure you are not selecting the middle. X and delete vertices, and we'll choose X here as well. Then turn on clipping, and so now we should have pretty much our whole carriage done with not much work. Now I'm going to do the same thing up the front here with the windows again, like last time. Okay, so if you want to, you can tweak this one a bit, but I think that should be fine. Again, depends how much space you want. What I might do is move these windows down a bit, so I'm going to hold down Control, just select the whole row, and do the same over here, and just move it down. Alright, cool. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and sort out the interior here. So what I'm going to do is at the end of the cabin, so this row here, hold down Alt and right click. And what we're going to do here is press E to extrude, and then X on the X-axis, and just push it together. Then I'm going to go into face select mode here, and we just want to choose all the faces that it has formed, and then just turn it into one face. So F, and then that should join it all together. Now also what we're going to do is down the middle here, you'll notice there is a face, so let's press Z to go into wireframe, and then select all the sides, like so, all the ones that are on the inside, and then X and delete faces, so these ones here as well. I'm also going to select this, sort of the main row here, and I'm just going to move them outwards, just so we can get a bit more of a curve going. Alright, like that. Again, up to you, you can add more loop cuts to make it a bit smoother if you'd like. We might move this row forward slightly. And so now what you can do is go over here and then go to solidify, and what we're going to do is maybe do 0.1, so you can sort of just double check the thickness of that. Of course it will affect the floor as well, so maybe 0.05. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and push this up to the top, and then we're going to choose even thickness and then click apply. So now what we're going to do is press Z to go into wireframe, select the whole middle line down the middle, like so, and don't select that part, and then just move it down. Alright, now what I'm going to do is go ahead and create the doors. So let's press M and move to layer 2, Shift S, cursor to center, and then add a cube, numpad 7, SX, SY, Z to go into wireframe, SZ, numpad 7, and then we're going to press tab, and we will move this down a bit, then press E to extrude, then press E to extrude again, this is the main window, and then E to extrude one more time, this is going to be the top. Okay, so what we're going to do here is select this main loop, so A to deselect, hold down Alt, right click, move it up, then hold down Alt again, right click this whole section, select the last face as well, RX, and then just move it across like so. Then numpad 7, tab, then I'm going to press Ctrl R, click, and move it across, like so, and same for this side. Alright, cool. So now what we can do is delete the two faces here, where the windows should be. Then press Z to go into solid view, select these vertices here, making sure you're in vertices select. Select these four, F to make a face, and do it again for over here. Alright, and one last time. And then this last one over here. Cool. So what I might also do is select this loop cut, hold down Alt, and right click. And then I'm going to just move it down. Alright, so something like that. Then I'm going to go over to shading and choose smooth. Then we can press RX90, and then go to layer 2, select our carriage, M, and move to layer 1. Now what we're going to be doing is keeping these separate, but we'll just be placing them in the right spots. So RZ90, enter, numpad 7, move it over here, then S to scale, and we'll just fit it in roughly. Alright, so it's going to be sort of fitting over the outside of the carriage, so we can move it down a bit. And we're going to need two of these doors to fit in. So with the door selected, press Shift D to duplicate, and then GY, move it over here, and then we'll just sort of have them fairly close. Then SY, scale it on the Y axis, SZ, and just move it down, then SZ again, alright, and move it back up again, SZ, cool, and then GX, move it in, RY, rotate it out, and then GX, alright, RY again, and GX, Cool, so we have our door sit-in. Now what we're going to do is select both again. You can see that clipping in the side here. So we're going to press SY and just scale them in like so. Then what I'm going to do is press Shift A, add a plane, and this here is going to be our glass. So let's press RY 90, and then we want to move it along GY, and this is going to be the glass panel that sort of sits in here. Alright, so G and then X, double tap X, and then move it up, move it across, SY, then press numpad 3, Z to go into wireframe, and we'll just scale it accordingly. So S, X, and X again, so double tap X, then GXX. Alright, so that is that done. Let's go ahead and call this glass. And then what we can do is press Shift D to duplicate GY and just put it in the second door here. Now each pane of glass we're going to parent to the object that it belongs to. In this case the door, so hold down Shift, select the door, Control P and parent. Same over here, select the glass pane, hold down Shift, select the door, Control P and parent. Now also we obviously need panes of glass for over here as well. So Shift A again, add another one, RX90, then GY, and we'll move it up, SZ, alright cool, SX, and just scale it accordingly until we have the whole thing covered, numpad 1, and SZ, GZ, SX, GX, cool. And so now I'm going to hold down Shift, select Carriage, Control P and parent. Then we'll also select the same pane of glass, Shift D to duplicate, move it over here, RZ90, RZ180, we want it facing outside, move it up, and this one's going to be a bit more tricky, so SY, GY, and we want to rotate it as well, so RY as well. Now we want an even angle, so something like that, and GX, and GZ, so this time G and double tap Y, move it up. Alright, so that's that done, and now numpad 7, Z to go into wireframe, Shift D, then RZ180. Now let's also put in some windows over here and here, so Shift A, add a plane, S to scale, RY90, numpad 7, Z, and move it over here, then Z to go into wireframe, and move it over here, GZ, and to scale it on the Z axis, move it up, and RY, alright, RY, and GX, RY, alright, cool. So there's that done. This one, just Shift D, GY, move it across, scale it on the Y axis, and then this one over here, scale it on the Y axis as well. Alright, so that's those two done. Alright, so now we've got those ones done, what we can actually do is select these ones that belong to the carriage, and select all of them, press Alt P, and then instead hold down Shift, select the carriage, and Control J. This means that all of the other sides will now have windows as well. Now I'm going to do one more thing, and that is add some lights at the front. So I'm going to press Shift A, add myself a cylinder. I'm going to make it maybe 12 vertices, then RX90, and then set smooth, press S to scale, GY, SY. Alright, and just add some simple headlights out the front. If you want to, you can add lens flare as well, or something like that, but that's up to you. Alright, GX, GZ, GX. So once you're happy with where it is, hold down Shift, select the carriage, and press Control J. So let's go ahead and select our carriage here. Just get rid of that, make a new one. No specular. And then what we're going to do is we will go over to the texture tab, click new image or movie, UV, So now we need a texture to add to our carriage here. So over at textures.com, I'm going to go and select the metal section, and then from here we want the painted metal, and from this one we want this one right here. So select it, make sure you're logged in so you can download it, and then select the first texture here because it's seamless. We'll go back to metal, scroll down, and we will choose floors, and then choose other, and from here I chose this texture here as well, so click on that and then download this one over here. Alright, so once you've downloaded both of those, go ahead and open up the metal texture on the carriage. So right here we have metal painted, so select it and then click open image. Alright, then we'll go over to texture mode and choose this here and choose Hemi. Alright, select the main carriage, Control A, apply scale. So now what I'm going to do is press tab to go into edit mode, Z to go into wireframe. And we want to delete all the faces around the outside. So go into face select mode, hold down Alt and right click. So I'm going to select this main edge here, the sort of inside face. I'm going to hold down Control, select the outside along here. Alright, and this one here. Then X and delete faces. And then do the same, select this, hold down Control. And we want to go all the way to the end. X and delete faces. Alright, cool. Now we might need to do the same along here. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's just go ahead and select all of them. Then this one down here. X and delete faces. Then I'm also going to go down here and just select this main side. Alright, all the way to the end. X and delete faces. Okay, so down the bottom here there's something weird going on, probably because we merged the faces. So let's go ahead and press X and delete faces. Hopefully that should fix it up. Alright, so then what we're going to do is press tab to go back into object mode, and now we can apply our texture. So first of all, add the mirror modifier, then we're going to go over here and make sure we have our texture opened up. Control A, apply scale. Tab, A to deselect, A to select everything, U and Smart UV project. Then click OK, and then make a new window here, choose UV image editor. Now what we have to do is sort out a couple other materials. So go back here to the material settings, click new. This one here we can call Carriage. Carriage. And then this one here we can go ahead and call Glass. It's going to be fairly simple, just some specular, turn up the hardness to like 200, and then we'll give it some transparency, so like 0.6 or something. Okay, and also turn up this, and then what we're going to do is we'll add another one. This here can be the lights at the front, so just emit, make it 2, and white should be fine. Maybe you can give it a orange color if you like. Alright, so press tab and then select these main faces here. Now what you'll notice is the back of these cylinders we don't actually need to see. So the back of the lights at the front, we can just select them, X and delete. That will save us a couple more vertices. Then I'm going to basically select the face, Control L to select linked. Do the same over here and do the same over here. Alright. Then we can choose emit and assign. Alright, cool. So there's that done. And then what we're going to do is also we need to select glass. So select all the window panes. It should be fairly straightforward. Oh, make sure you hold down shift so you don't lose the selection. Alright, that one, that one, that one. And the front side, left, alright. Okay, so once you have them all selected, choose glass and assign. Now what we're going to do is we need another material for the floor here. So let's go ahead, click new, call it floor. And then from here we'll turn off specular. And then what we'll do is go to the texture tab, click new, open up the floor texture. So from here, metal floors other, and then click open image. And then what we'll do is press tab to go into edit mode. Now it seems like the middle vertices haven't merged together, so let's quickly just select each one, Alt M at center. Alright, do it over here as well. Just merge it in the center. Alright, so I'm going to go into face select mode down here. Now if you'd like to, you can also do the ceiling and stuff merging together. It will save you vertices as well, but the reason I did the floor is just so we can merge the faces together a little easier. So I'm going to select these main two. You want them sort of both being flat, and then you should be able to merge them fairly easily. Now you'll notice there's that angle along the side, so you can't really merge them together because they're not at the same angle each face, so it won't look too good once you do join them. So just join the flat ones together like so. So go on the carriage here and then select all of the sort of floor face tile things, and then Z to go into wireframe. That won't help. Just select the top layer and then move down the carriage. Okay, we just need the ones at the front here, and then go over to floor and then choose assign. Now what we're going to do is press tab and then U and unwrap, then S to scale, and we'll make it fairly large. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better. Maybe something like that. So on the floor material here, I also have a normal map. This was generated with an Insane Bump, which is a GIMP plugin. Again, there's a link down in the description below if you want to know how to install and use it. So I'm just going to go into the texture tab here, click new texture, and then just choose open. I'm going to go to image sampling, normal map, and then turn off color, choose normals. Okay, so that should be about that done. So now what we can do is I'm going to press S to scale and just move it outwards until it looks something like that. Now you'll notice we have the seams here. You don't want them along any doors or windows like that. So what you can do is just move up or scale the texture until it fits in a bit better. So just scale it up until it looks good, so something like that. Alright, so you notice the inside has a bit of a problem. It's up to you if you want to go ahead and change it. I'm just going to leave it just to save time. Now what we're going to do is assign textures to our doors here. Choose Carriage, Control A, apply scale, A to deselect, select everything, Smart UV project. Okay, that looks fine. Maybe move it down a bit. I guess you could move the seam to the middle somewhere. And then I might rotate it 180 degrees as well. Alright, then do the same over here. Control A, apply scale, select everything, Smart UV project, 180, and move it down. Then we also need to select Carriage, and you want fairly uniform. Alright, you might want to also scale this down so it works a bit better with the outside texture. And then you can choose metal painted here. Maybe you'll give it a bit more of a green version. So now let's select these planes in here and choose glass for each of them. And then hold down shift, select the doors as well. Then shift D to duplicate, and then R, Z, 180, enter, and move it across. Alright. So now what we're going to do is press Z to go into wireframe and select those, all of those again. Numpad 7, shift D to duplicate, GY, and move them across. Fit them in accordingly. Oh, GY. And GY again. Alright, numpad 7, Z to go into wireframe, GY, and move that in as well. Alright, and Shift D, GY one more time, and just move it in here for the last one. Cool, so those are all the doors done. Now what you can do, like in the original game, is basically just go ahead and select one door, move it outwards like this, and then if you want to have them broken or something, you can just press RX, and then move them out a little bit more, like this. So GY, GX, and then just make sure you have enough space for the player to get through. So yeah, that is about it. Again, I did the same on the other side of the carriage, so let's also do that. GX, I guess one of the doors doesn't have to be broken, it could be perfectly functioning, and then this one over here you could have broken instead. So what's really weird here is we have some sort of flickering going on here, so let's press tab, and one of the pieces is actually of carriage, so let's delete that, we only want the glass one. So in the next tutorial we'll be going over how to bake and model the wheels from scratch and add them together, and then we'll also be going over how to create the interior, and we'll probably do some baking for that as well, so it looks very nice. So there we go guys, that's the end of this tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, comment or share down below. All of that stuff would be greatly appreciated. If you want to stay updated, feel free to subscribe as well. So apart from that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have an awesome week. I'll see you guys in part 2.